Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Mike Jones, your GTA guy. And today we're going to be going over the most efficient way to do import-export on GTA Online. Or at least the way I do it. So we're going to head out of our garage here, head over to our CEO office. So we have the office that's located right next door to our apartment. This office is the cheapest of the four of the offices. If you go on your phone, you'll be able to go over to Dynasty 8 and find the offices. There's the four offices. This is the one I chose because it's the cheapest. It's about 1 mil, maybe a little over 1 mil. And then you select a vehicle warehouse. The vehicle warehouse I chose is in the southeast side of the map. This is also the cheapest warehouse, but can also be the most busy, so that's why we like to lag ourselves out into a solo public session. It's a nice warehouse. It's easy to get the helicopter in to land vehicles when you're doing import. But we'll talk about that. It's good to have a couple things for this business. Of course, the office. Of course, the warehouse. Two things to also have is the buzzard. But for this specific one, we like to use the cargo bob. And the cargo bob's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. Of course, you might have to work your way up to getting a cargo bob because it's a little expensive. But trust me, it does pay off in the end. So we're entering our office here. Our CEO name, or office name, is Alfa Romeo. A little bit of a Ferrari fan. Alfa Romeo, you know, the Italian sports cars. So you could see in my garage I had a bunch of Italian sports cars. I had the different Ferraris, or Grattis in this game, aligned one wall. All painted red, of course. And I got my Ferrari suit on. So we log into our Securo serve. We head over to the vehicle cargo option. We do import-export. And now, right now, you can see how much money I've made. I've made 16 mil on here, which is well enough money to justify the price of a cargo bob and a buzzard, and it's paid for many other things in GTA. So we're going to go source a vehicle. For us, when we source a vehicle, for me specifically, I'm going to source only high-end vehicles, but there's also standard and mid-range. So prior to being able to source only high-end vehicles, you're going to have to source standard and mid-range and fill up your garage with those and not sell them. So when you do that, it's going to be about 12 of each. I think there's about 24. That's going to be a little time-consuming, but it's good upfront work so that the company or the process becomes the most profitable. That's what you want to do. So we're going to go in. We're going to source our vehicle. Hit confirm. You can see we get a top-range car. It's the Z-Type. So we're going to go leave the office, keeping in mind that we do have the cargo bob at our disposal.
Just give me the word and I'll make it happen.
So we're going to go over here, and we're going to go exit via vehicle. Gives you the option to leave via cargo bob. So this is a Pegasus vehicle, so it costs a little money, $200. Don't worry about it because the amount of money you're going to make off of each import-export mission is going to well justify the price it costs to get this helicopter and fly it out. It's so easy, so quick. You're just going to take off straight off the top of the building and be ready to go and pick up your vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and choose the $200 option for the cargo bob. And we're going to confirm it. So we're taking off from our pad on the top of the office. The cargo bob is great because we're going to be able to latch onto whatever car it is.
Bring it to the warehouse and try to look after it. We're charged for repairs.
Make sure you listen to whatever your assistant tells you because they're going to give you an idea of what is going on with the car. So in this circumstance, we can see that this one is off the side of the highway, and I know from personal experience, once you've done these enough, you know what's going on with these missions. This one's going to be an odd one. This is probably the hardest mission you're going to get. There's a helicopter hovering overhead, there's 2 police cars next to it, and there's some guy, some random NPC that decides to steal the vehicle. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to come over to this marketplace, or this market, and I'm going to land on top of the market. There's other missions too, of course. There's missions where there's bombs in the vehicles, and sometimes you can avoid having to drive the bomb off. So, like, you have to drive around until the bomb is deactivated. You can avoid these sometimes by just picking up the car, unless the car is placed underneath some kind of cabana or something that you can't pick it up with the helicopter. In that case, you have to drive it and drive it to the warehouse. Other cases, there's ones where the car's just easily parked somewhere. Sometimes you have to kill some people and get keys for the car. But in this case, we're going to jump up here. We're going to try to see if we could snipe out the driver before he even tries to make his getaway. Usually this works. But you can see here, I take 2 shots. I can't get the driver. So maybe it got patched with the last update. Maybe not. Maybe it's just this specific car I can't snipe into. So I'm going to have to do it a little differently. And this is going to require some piloting skills. I'm pretty good with the Cargo Bob. Maybe not as good as some other people. So maybe some of you are better than I am. And this will be easier for you. For me, it's a little tough. So we're going to move in. Oh, man. Somebody decided to steal the car. Whoops. So we're going to go. We're going to chase him down. It's going to take a few seconds. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to latch on to the back of the Z-Type. Now, as you do these missions, you're going to learn about sweet spots on the cars and where the hook on the Cargo Bob likes to pick up specific cars. So on like the Pfister 811, it likes to pick up the car by the front windshield. It's kind of odd, but that's how it is. Probably because that car is usually topless. With this car, it's kind of like the middle of the vehicle, top of the back windshield. So you're going to see I'm going to try to dive in, but you got to be careful of these road signs. There's a lot of other missions that are way easier than this one. This is the hardest mission for importing vehicles. There's other missions such as, I mean, sometimes they're just sitting there for you to steal. And you just drop in, hook it up, you're good to go. Those ones are my favorite. So we got one more road sign here. Right after this, I'm gonna try to go in. I'm gonna try to go in and get this one. I think I'm gonna be able to nab it on the run. Otherwise, you have to stop the helicopter, get out of your helicopter, order a car, and try to chase them down and shoot at the car. And every time you shoot at the car, you lose money. So we don't want to do that. So now I'm going to call Lester. I got the car. I'm wanted. I don't want the police to shoot at the car. I call Lester. Lester, help me.
How can I be of service?
You can help me by getting rid of the police. Now, for me, getting rid of the police was free. Because I completed all 3 acts of the Doomsday Heist, but it might be $2 or $3, $4 or $600 depending on your wanted level. It's well worth it because you avoid the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even $8,000 worth of damage that the police shooting at the car could cause. So you have to pay for whatever repairs have to be made if the car gets damaged on the way to your import. So now we're at the warehouse. I cut right to the warehouse so that we can keep this video kind of short for you guys. Short enough. And you can just see we're going to hover over the yellow spot with the car. Be careful not to hit the car on anything. I almost get close to hitting the warehouse. And easy peasy. It finishes it off from there once you get low enough. Car's delivered. 0 deductions. Great, great. Everything went to plan. So now it spawns you up in the air with your helicopter. We're going to drop the helicopter down next to the office. So the reason we're doing this in a Cargo Bob, specifically in a solo public lobby with a Cargo Bob. She's telling us that it's registered on a SecuroServ, but in a solo public lobby, they're going to send NPCs after you whenever you try to do import-export, every single time, because they know you're solo and they want to give opposition, and they're very accurate NPCs, or AI, that want to shoot your car and cause anywhere up to $8,000 worth of damage. Now, we got kind of lucky, and all of a sudden someone joined my game, as you saw a second ago. So that's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. So the good thing is the NPCs aren't going to come after us. The bad thing is we're going to have to figure out what this guy's doing just to make sure we're safe when we export, or we're going to lose this car. So we're going to go into our map. We're going to hit the select button while we're in the map and put us out in a full view. And we're going to check the map out. We're going to look at the map. Where is this guy? He's not showing up on the map. You don't see anybody showing up on the map and you really can't find him. Be very careful because they could have went Ghost Organization. And then they won't show up on the map. But here, I found him. He's off on the west coast here. He's in a military vehicle. Some kind of armed vehicle. So I'm kind of worried about it, but he's so far away and so slow, and with my Cargobob, I'm just going to go ahead and export. I think it'll be really easy to export. He's so far away with that slow vehicle. So we're going to log into the computer on here. Now I've sourced, like I said, the 24 vehicles that are standard and mid-range. You can see them all here. And then there's the top range car. We're going to sort by value, take the highest value car, which is our top range car. Click on export. And then we're going to go over to export. And you're going to want to go for the most expensive option. You're going to see here in a second. The most expensive option requires us to modify the vehicle and spend 20 grand. But we're going to make 80 grand off of it as opposed to the 40. So you're going to take the most expensive option, confirm. Now I like to do my modifications. I like to do my modifications quick. Just because it doesn't give anyone the opportunity to come and camp in front of the warehouse. So I go through all the menus. I'll kind of cut some of this down. I choose, you know, a black license plate. I choose a different grill. A quick respray of whatever quick color I can think of. Now, if you want to go and get creative, go ahead. It's better to do that in a lobby like where there is one or two other people, because then you can drive the car for delivery and not have to worry about NPCs shooting you. But here, I just do some quick modifications, put some tires on, maybe tint the windows, do the performance upgrades, and I want to get out of here as soon as possible so that no one can camp the warehouse. And if you're doing this as primarily a money-making method, this is the way you're going to want to do it because it cuts down on the time. So we're all done. We confirm. Now when you go to this black screen, do not press any buttons on your controller because it has been known to mess up the game to the point where you can't drive the car to deliver it for export. And then all of a sudden you lose out on your export. So do not hit buttons. Do not hit any buttons when you're in that black screen during the export. When you're leaving the export garage. So we're going to run over. Cargobob's still here. We're going to grab the Cargobob. We're going to lift off. Be careful of the light post. That's the only thing that kind of deters you when you're here. If you get too antsy and not patient enough. We're going to look for that sweet spot on the Z-Type. It's usually, like I said, in the middle of the vehicle. This one's kind of an easy one. Top of the rear windshield. Now here, I kind of like get it from the right side, which is kind of odd. But it's still kind of that middle section of the vehicle. So we don't need to watch the whole flight time here. Usually NPCs would chase you at this point if you were in a solo public lobby, but because there's one other person in the lobby, you're not going to get chased. But make sure you keep your altitude when doing those deliveries. So we cut to the delivery. You can see we made our full 100,000. We paid 20, so you made 80 off of this mission. And usually they're a lot quicker when they're not the hardest mission like this one was. But
Well done out there.
that was an easy 80k. Making 80k in this game is good. So that is all I have for you guys today. This was Mike Jones, your GTA guy, coming to you from GTA Online, and this is your import-export guide. Alright, peace.